Hello student, in this video I am going to talk about basically uh, relations between categorical variables. But before that I would like to throw you an challenge. Challenge is that uh, is is mean, the analysis of mean can be a paradox, or the value of the mean can differ in different type of cases. Like here you can see one example. You can see the explanation in this context in this book. Here you can see the values. Here average beer purchase, average, or you can say the mean. Here different types of brand name of the beers and the average value sold during a month. During a month. For individual brand, the value is the average only for customers who purchase at least one six-pack of that brand. But here you can see one very important and detailed point is that though there are different values of average for different brand, you can see the mean of any beer, it might be any brand, is lower than the any other brand. Now why this happen? Why this happen? This is a big question. Okay, here on first glance you might appear unusual or even impossible, because how can the mean can be lower than the all other averages? So it is your task or to find or to tackle this challenge, that how it can happen. Okay, that is my challenge to you, or that is my that is an assignment for you. You can try to understand the problem, you can try to go through it, and you can try to know how this can happen. So here main questions are like here, how this value comes down from this average values of other brands and the values of all brands average. Okay, now we'll go through the main topic of this video. So basically our main aim is to finding the relationship among variables, and it is very important in data analysis, because suppose one example is that uh, this happens in various businesses like movie business, and the movie industry is high profile industry in US, and they try to understand how they are related, so they create different type of variables. Here you can see, to understand or to analyze the data, they create different type of variables. Here you can see the genre of the film. Okay, it can be categorized as action, children's movie, comedy movie, documentary movie, drama movie, horror, science fiction, or thriller. Or it can be like categorized as G means general audience, or categorized as parental guidance suggested. So these are categorical variable. Okay, or might be possibly unsustainable for children under 13, or children not admitted unless accompanied by adult, or no one under 17 admitted, or U means unrated. So these are different type of categorical variable. And there is another variable, the country of origin of the movie, categorized as United States or English speaking but non-United States, or non-English speaking. Like that, there are other variable like number of actors or actresses in the movie who are listed in Entertainment Weekly's list of the 25 best actors and 25 best actresses as of 1998. So like that, this is the data set they are making actually. That is why that was year is back then. So in that way they try to analyze the whole scenario for to make profit of this business. The point is that how to find the relationship and how it will help. Okay, so through this analysis they try to plot this of this data according to a variable in a box plot. Here you can see box plot of domestic gross revenues for different type of movies in 1998. So here you can see total domestic gross. These are different type of names of variable. Okay, this is gross against MPA rating. This is against genre of movie. This is country. This is number of best actors, number of top dollar actors, number of sequel. These are the total in all these box plots. In the y direction you can see the total earning, and in the in the x direction you can find a different type of variable. And you can you have to know what is box plot. Box plot is nothing but this is a distribution of the data. So you can see how the data is distributed in that value. Most of these, that middle line is mean value, and this is positively skewed, and sometimes you might find negatively skewed like here. Okay, in that way you might find how there is separated way by from this is max point, this is mean point, and this is max point. This max point is how much difference from the mean and how much difference from the minimum. This is mean or we can say average. Okay, or this is quartile 3, this is quartile 1, this is minimum, this is average. Okay, and this is maximum and this is minimum. So in every box plot you can see how the variable values are in different type of category. Okay, in different type of category or different type of attribute according to the variable. So now how these values or how these data is related, or to any two variables or any three variables, how they are related, is there any relation, is there any connection, and by analyzing that it will help to find the profit in the business. So how to do that, how to proceed to find the relationship among categorical variables. So again there is another example, like consider a data set with at least two categorical variables, smoking and drinking. Okay, suppose smoking and drinking are two variables. Each person is categorized into one of three smoking categories. It might be non-smoker. Okay, these are categories. Occasional smoker or heavy smoker. Similarly, each person is categorized into one of the three categories, like non-drinker, occasional drinker, and heavy drinker. So do the data indicate that smoking and drinking habits are related? So that is the question. That is the question, and due to that type of question, we need to analyze the relationship among the variables. For example, do non-drinkers tend to be non-smokers? Do heavy smokers tend to be heavy drinkers? So to answer this kind of questions, you need to analyze the data, you need to find the relationship among the data. As discussed, you can see in the previous chapter also, so we can display or arrange the variables in different types, like we can display all such counts in a table called cross tabs. Now before going to this, again I read this part. The most meaningful way to describe a categorical variable with counts for a specific category, possibly expressed as percentage of totals, possibly corresponding surds of the counts. The same is true examining relationship between two categorical variables. We can find the counts of the categories of either variable separately, or more importantly, we can find counts of the joint categories of two variables. Okay, so such as count of all non-drinkers who are also non-smoker. So there is an if and else. like here, such as the count of all non-drinkers who are also non-smokers, again corresponding to percentage of totals, and search help tell the story. So if you go to this text, you can find a solution, but my point is that how we can find a relationship. Here you can see smoking and drinking data mainly. Suppose person 1 to 10, okay, and smoking is this. Well, this is categorical variables: non-smoking or occasionally smoking, or high smoking, occasionally drinking, non-drinking, or high drinking. So they try to count the data in different way, or try to cross tabs like non-drinking, non-smoking, non-drinking, occasional smoking, non-drinking, high smoking, like that. So it is very helpful if you create a cross tab among them, if you want to find the relationship among them. Okay, now if you put that thing, okay, COUNTIF formula, COUNTIF in Excel, you can use this COUNTIF formula in Excel to find these totals. So here you can see non-drinking, non-smoking is this much, non-drinking, occasional smoking is this much. In that way you can find total non-smoker, total occasional smoker, total hard smoker, or total non-drinker, and as a total number of samples is here. So now percentage, you can see the percentage also. Percentage will be calculated among this one for this column. Okay. So this is the percentage of row and this is the percentage of column. Okay. So in that way, a conclusion can be made like a hard drinker might be less possible to be a non-smoker, or you can see here a non-drinker might be less possible with a high smoking. So non-drinker might be non-smoking, that has high probability, and high drinker has high smoking probabilities with high probability. Okay, so in that way you can find the relationship among the variables. This is one style to find the relationship among the categorical variables. Here you can see percentage of row. From these columns you can, percentage of column is this, percentage of row is this. So we can find the thing here. This is non-drinking, this is occasional drinking, this is hard drinking, and in this part this is, these bars are smoking bars, this is drinking bars, and this axis is smoking bars, this is drinking bars. So now in that way you can find the relationship among the variables. So this is important: counts versus percentage. There is no single correct way to display data in cross tabs. Ultimately data are always counts, but they can be shown as a row counts, percentage of row totals, percentage of column totals, or even percentage of overall total. Nevertheless, when you are looking for a relationship between two categorical variables, showing the counts as percentage of row totals or percentage of column totals usually makes any relationship stands out more clearly. Yes, obviously here you can see that percentage or the values can show you the scenario more clearly. Okay, so this is one way to do these things. Okay, so basically it leads to a general problem. That is, the general problem is typically referred to as comparison problem. Again, read this part. This section is a very common situation where you want to break down a numerical variable such as salary by category variables such as gender. Here in this part you try to, or you will going to learn about how categorical variable and numerical variable associated to it. So we'll discuss this part in more detail in next class or next video. But point is that here one thing to look upon, they try to create a table. It might be stacked, it might be unstacked. This one, this unstacked data. So this female is like, now here is a variable, male is variable, but here in this one in stacked data this gender was the original variable and original categorical variable, but the salary was the numerical variable. But in the unstacked data, it created as female as a variable, okay, male as a variable, and for that it created like this. Those variables are become now numerical. But again, we'll discuss this point about how can be found relationship between categorical and numerical variable, and then we'll try to find relationship among numerical variable in the subsequent videos. And please go through this part in the book, and if you have any doubt that I have discussed in this video, please ask me over Google Meet. Thank you.